What's really good, and welcome back to another Friday Night Live with the Opinionated Ones as part of the Sanchez Show, man. As always, I'm your host, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games. Got my brother Will Gordon with me, Mr. Unpopular Opinion. You see, he's decked out in his Wizards gear, despite everything in the slow start. What's going on, bro?
What they do, baby? Yeah, I thought it was appropriate to break out the Wizards gear with this in season tournament going on. I thought I'd go ahead and rep.
Now that's what it is. And I will admit, I picked y'all to win tonight. I picked y'all to beat Miami tonight. So let's see if y'all could do that. I know y'all hanging tough with them right now.
What?
I did. Listen, no matter how you feel about the Wiz are probably going to win 25 to 30 games. So you got to win some games, right? Miami's off to a slow start. Why not tonight?
I got them 18 to 25 wins. I really don't. I'm not too optimistic about the win total, but that's not what the focus is right now. I think being a complete rebuild and to steal from Josh Harris, we gotta trust the process.
That's all you can do. We knew this was what it was going to be when you guys made the trade of Bradley Beal. Then when you acquired Jordan Poole, so you knew this what it was going to be. It was going to be a tough season, a lot of player development, young team. So it is what it is. You said 18 to 25 wins. Like I said, I have them somewhere in the range of 25 to 30 wins. We're kind of talking the same language, man. So again,
But
that's
this is
why
what, as a Wizards fan, this is what you want though, because it's been so many years of just trying to make the playoffs and not growing the team in any way. So when you just tear it all down and then build it back up, this is what I've been asking for years.
I mean, that's the best way to do it. When you're in a market like the Wiz, and we talked about this before, Will, when they first made the trade of Bradley Beal, you guys, even though it is a major market in terms of city, it's not a major player in terms of free agency. There hasn't been a big name free agent that signed with the Wiz in a very long time. So if you're the Wiz, this is how you do it. You tear it all down, you build it up with draft capital and young guys, and then you find the right pieces. Ultimately, what I would like to see for the Wiz, I'm not even a Wizards fan, but I would like to see the Wiz establish some sort of identity. Who are the Wizards trying to be moving forward? And then you get the young players around that.
I think one of the problems with them is Wes Unseld Jr. He came in with high regard, like he had a great reputation as a assistant in the league, coming over from Denver. He was supposed to be a defensive minded guy. We haven't played defense since he's been in the city, so I don't really know what the point is of keeping him around, because he really brings nothing to the table. If defense was supposed to be your calling card, and you giving up 130 a game, then we might need to move on from you. And the connection with his dad, being the greatest bullet / wizard ever, is a lot. I think that ownership tries to look at and tries to sell, but he ain't it. He ain't it.
Yeah, it was a tie to the previous or to the glory days of the organization, but it hasn't worked out. You guys will be going in a new direction. We know that already. We expect that. It's only a matter of time before he is replaced there. But before we start, as we always do, salute my brother. You already know.
We gotta clink it up. I already had it ready.
There we
The
go.
Chargers joint. I got my Chargers joint.
Coming off a good win last week.
We needed it.
Yeah, you guys Monday night go to New York. We're gonna get to that. We got a lot of football questions in the comment section. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the supporters. We see the questions. Let's get to some of these. Some of these I'm gonna save as we get to the pick section of the podcast tonight. Obviously, I know we got a big NBA trade we got to get into. James Harden on his way to the Clips. Let's see what we got. If we got NBA related questions in here right now, I see all NFL. Let's go to an NFL one, then we're gonna circle back to the NBA. Kevin Ford wants to know: Vegas fires Josh McDaniels and their GM Dave Ziegler. What's next for the Raiders after the firings? We'll kick that one off.
I think they're gonna look for a young, fresh mind, and what they need to do is approach it differently than the way they have been. GM wise, I'm not too keen on. I don't know who's, what GMs are out there, but you got coaches at the college ranks. You got coaches, assistant coaches in the NFL, because there's going to still be some more shakeup. Like say for instance, I think it's going to be a complete shakeup in Washington, and I think Eric Bieniemy is going to be a candidate. You got Jim Harbaugh at Michigan with the things that's going on there. I think he might be a candidate. Vegas ain't the worst city to live in, you know what I'm saying? And it's a pretty attractive franchise as far as their history. The Raiders, the Raiders, like Chris Berman says. So I don't think they're gonna have a problem filling those seats, but they need to start over, and they're gonna need to find a quarterback as well. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't him, and at this point, you might need to go ahead and just tank. I do like that they elevated Antonio Pierce, ex-Redskin, ex-Giant. I do like the fact that they gave him a shot, but are you putting them on the Titanic? You know what I'm saying? Are you putting them on a sinking ship just to watch them drown? But he does have the opportunity. He can show what he can do, and even if it doesn't work out there, if he shows enough, that might give him a opportunity elsewhere.
So yeah, I agree. Antonio Pierce is in a tough spot because they want to tank it out. Jimmy's already been benched. They're going with the rookie O'Connell as the quarterback. Devontae Adams doesn't want to be there. There is a lack of talent on both sides of the ball here. Outside of guys like Matt Crosby and Devontae Adams, there ain't much talent. Josh Jacobs probably isn't part of their long-term plan either. So Antonio Pierce is in a situation, as you mentioned, where he's just trying to show people what he's capable of doing. But I don't think he's going to be the answer at head coach. And I don't think they're going to really look to solve that answer at head coach until they know where they're at in terms of the draft. If they're in position to potentially get Caleb Williams or the kid May out of North Carolina, or even Shador out of Colorado, they're probably going to go with an offensive-minded head coach similar to like an Eric Bieniemy, as you mentioned. If they're not in that position, then you might want to go with a veteran who can kind of bring a certain culture there and say, all right, we're really turning this around, but we need an established head coach who the players are going to respect. I think Mark Davis is going to spend whatever dollar it takes to bring in the right guy. So I don't doubt that part of it. As you mentioned, there is a history there with the Raiders, but I don't think we're going to get a clear-cut answer as to direction of the head coach until we know exactly where they're at in terms of getting a quarterback. Jimmy G is not the answer. These retreads, they've tried it before. It doesn't work. They've got to blow that whole thing up. They got to start completely fresh. And once you know if you can get a quarterback right now, it's probably going to determine what type of coach you bring in.
What do you think about the thought of making the splashiest move possible and bringing in Dion and Shador?
I like it from a headline point of view. Dion coming in, I'm not saying it can't work, but again, are you going to force Dion to have certain coordinators on his staff? Because from what we see in Colorado, as I said before, the real genius in Dion is the showman, but Dion has a really good coaching staff. He's got offensive and defensive coordinators that were at Power 5 schools as head coaches and coordinators. They're the ones really putting the game plan in, week out. So if Dion goes to the Raiders, you would have to set him up with a really established offensive coordinator and established defensive coordinator, because that's not Dion's identity. And also, I think what Dion does on the college level really works because, again, he is the showman. He knows how to recruit. On the NFL level, right, you're not recruiting now. Now it's really X's and O's. Now it's really about getting the guys in the right position to be successful. And they got to see that you can do that week in, week out. I don't know if Dion's at that point yet.
Do you think that he would bring his staff with him?
He could.
If what's their owner?
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Mm-hmm. If he allowed him, if he could bring his staff, I think as far as free agency goes, because like you said, it's more recruiting in college. Mm-hmm. Than free agency is more about the money. but I think dudes might take a little bit less from another situation just to go and play with prime. This is the best cornerback that's ever played the game, swaggiest to ever play the game, and I think because we talking about, you want young talent, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like recruiting. You know what I'm saying? I think it's not exactly like it, but I think dudes that don't need the maximum bag, like say if you got one situation where you can go and get 3 years, 25 million, but the Raiders can only afford 3 years, 21. I think Dion brings you that gravitas that, like they might want to go and do that situation instead.
I think.
Would you rather play for Dion or Brian Daboll? Or, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of situation. I think because a lot of these players, these young black men, are going to want to, because what Dion does is he's showing a different way to do it. And I think a lot of players would gravitate to that.
I think there would be players that gravitate towards it, but it still would be a tough sell because, again, you're not just recruiting. You have to build and develop the young talent. And for the Raiders, as we just mentioned, there ain't much talent there. So it's not like you're ever going to go out in free agency and just spend and fill all your needs. You're still going to have to develop guys through the draft. You're still going to have to be patient enough to realize that as great it is to have that high first round pick, where you really build your team is with those third round and fourth round guys, those guys that you turn into starters that were day 2
Right.
draft guys. And that's the part of it that I don't know if Dion's ready for yet. I think Dion is great at the college level because Dion can go recruit and he's going to get a bunch of 4 and 5 star recruits at Colorado. At the NFL level, you got to be able to develop those third and fourth round picks. That's what really gives you the longevity as a coach. And I don't think he's there yet. Him bringing
But you know what? If you look around the league, it's established coaches that can't do that.
Right, absolutely. But the difference is too, these are coaches that have the resume showing that they've done it somewhere. All of them can't do it. I agree with you on that. But they all have a resume of showing they have done it somewhere. Dion doesn't have that resume of showing he's done it yet. So I think give him a little bit more time. I'm all for Dion being a head coach at the next level, though. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's his time yet. We got some good NBA questions, so we're gonna circle back. Shout out to Ron. I appreciate the fact that you think we look younger than what we are. Ron said, "Rest in peace to the legend Bobby Knight who passed away. Y'all might be too young. What's his legacy to y'all?" And yeah. Listen,
how old is Ron? I'm 44, bro.
I appreciate that, Ron. And big debate, could his style of coaching work today? I'll start with that last part of the question. In this day and age, we've talked about it before. We're way too sensitive as a society. His coaching style could not work today. Now,
absolutely not.
At legacy-wise, it is without a doubt he is on the Mount Rushmore of college coaches. He is one of the
top
greatest,
5 for sure.
Yeah, he is one of the greatest NBA minds, basketball minds, I should say, ever. But his coaching style, with how sensitive we have become as a society and how much we coddle young athletes, Bobby Knight, that would be reality TV. It would never work. But what you think, Will?
Bobby, like you said, Mount Rushmore college coaches. He's right up there with your my man from North Carolina. What was his name? Dean Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's right up there with Coach K, who I think he coached Coach K.
He did at Army.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's right up there with the greats, man. And let's not sleep on his Olympic gold medal. He was on that 84 staff, wasn't he?
With Mike, yep. And I think he coached 2 Olympic teams, but I definitely know the 84 staff, where he had the famous quote where he told the Portland Trailblazers draft Mike, and they said, "Well, we need a big man." They said, "Well," and then he said, "Well, play him at center."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He said Michael Jordan was the best basketball player he's ever seen, which is true. And
well, that's a fact. He said that before Mike made the league too.
But yeah, you're definitely right that he wouldn't. It wouldn't work today. Like, we all know about the infamous chair throwing and all of that. But he has some good teams in the past. And Yeah, it's sad to see him go. You know what I mean? We all gonna have our day, but Bobby Knight, he did a lot of for the game of basketball. Ron, how old is Ron?
I don't know, man. Ron, you gotta comment your age in there, man. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
you gotta put it
it's
in
a,
there. I might be
it's,
older than you, Ron.
it's a compliment that he said we might be too young. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, for real. I do appreciate it. I do still get carded when I'm buying my little Celsius and whatnot. So I appreciate it.
Bobby Knight, yeah, definitely a legacy. I will say too, I'm happy with how it ended at Indiana. He obviously coached the last undefeated team in college history, but I'm glad that they were able to patch up their relationship because he was recognized when they honored that team with Isaiah Thomas. I believe that was like about 7 years ago that he was there. So I'm glad they were able to patch up that
That's
relationship.
right. Isaiah did play at Indiana.
Yeah,
That's right.
Isaiah was there. Isaiah was his point guard. Kyrie.
One of the beefs I got with him. Well, it shouldn't even be with him though. Is we drafted Calbert Chaney, and he was so super regular. That dude was super regular. We drafted him high. Bobby Knight had him looking like he was going to be a player, and he was not at all. But that's more on Calvert, I guess, than it is on Bobby. That even attributes to Bobby's coaching. You know what I'm saying? He's putting guys in spots and in places to excel.
Yeah. Actually, Kyrie, I'm gonna save this one because I know when Vern joins us, Vern should be joining us any minute. He wants to get into Wembanyama, so I'm gonna save that one for when Vern joins us. Kevin Ford wanted to ask you, Will, what's going on with your Bucks? I know it's early, and I think they're beating the Knicks right now. They're up 8 points right now in the Knicks, but their defense is a little shaky. And Lillard was great the first 2 games, are horrible the last 2. He wants your thoughts on him.
So you calling them my Bucks because I picked them to win the East?
Listen,
Because they're not my Bucks.
when you make a
Like,
but you know how that works. Well, when you make an early season prediction, that now immediately becomes your
yeah,
team. That
like you
becomes your
see
team.
what my team is. My team is right here on my chest and my head right now. But um, I you know what? In the games I've watched, I see a disconnect right now. I think it's a little bit too early as far as developing the chemistry. Now the first game when Dame came out and dropped 39 on him, it was like, okay, this is what we paid for. This is what, this is what we were expecting. But I don't really see uh any flow in their offense right now. I think everybody's still trying to figure each other out. Um that pick and roll I was expecting has not happened yet. And that all comes with, knowing where your guy is supposed to be, flowing off pause. But it just hasn't looked like a unit yet. Pause again. Damn, it's gonna be a lot of pause. But I think they'll figure it out, man. It's before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? It's early in the season. Dame Lillard's one of the best players in the league. So is Giannis. And once they figure out how to work together, I think it's going to be dangerous. But I think it's just growing pains right now.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I was critical of the Bucks defense when we talked about this in the preseason. I still think they got a lot to work on defensively. But we talked about this, Will, and you and I text off air about this when I said Dame is at that point now where he doesn't want to step on anybody's toes. He doesn't want to force the offense. He doesn't want to start taking the long threes just yet because you don't want anybody giving you the side eye. You still the new guy in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to integrate yourself with everybody. But I think over time they're gonna figure this thing out. They'll be
But it
just
is a
fine.
big loss. My man that went to Boston,
Drew Holiday.
yeah, Drew Holiday. That is a big loss because he's probably top three defensive point guard in the league.
Of course.
And so that's starting to show itself right now. And Chris
Yeah.
Middleton, I think Chris Middleton he's trying to find his way too. You know
Of
what I mean?
course.
Because he really used to be number two. You know,
You
and
gotta
now
yeah.
now when you got the ball in Dame's hands so much, and he's playing off ball and playing more catch and shoot. Um, and he's more of a mid range player where he used to get in his spots. With Dame playing so far out, and it's just going to take them a while to figure it out. But I think they should be there by New Year's Eve.
They'll be
Or
fine.
I mean, you know what I mean?
They'll be fine. You got to remember, it's the new addition of Dame, a new head coach in Adrian Griffin, and then a style offensively that nobody else on that team has run before. Because as you mentioned last year, it was a lot of Giannis and Middleton creating for everyone else. And now you add Dame into the mix with Adrian Griffin trying to implement his own offense. So all these different factors are going to play into some of the early season struggles. But I think once we get to about game 15, game 20, we're going to start to see them really click. We're going to start seeing more pick and roll, and we're going to see Dame just be much more comfortable. And Adrian Griffin will figure out his rotations a little bit. He doesn't have his rotations yet. So all those things come into play. Vern's in the building. We're going to bring Vern on with us right now.
The counselor.
Vern recording from a secret location.
What's up? What's up? No, I'm just in my car, you know.
You in the whip? You in the Lexus?
Nah.
Listen, Vern, we hope you're enjoying your Friday night. We starting off with some NBA talk, and then we're gonna get to the picks. There's a Wimby question in here, so we're gonna get to that in a second. We're gonna get to that in a second. Let's get to James. Let's get to James' question here. Vern, I'll let you start this one. Your thoughts on James Harden trade? Harden said he's not a system player, but he is a system. Don't these comments seem like a me? Yeah, Ty Lue needs a prayer, man. So what's Clippers starters now? Vern, give me your thoughts on Harden going back home to Cali.
Man, you know how I feel about Harden. I think he's a bum. You know, Harden still thinks this is MVP Houston Harden. He's not that player anymore. He is at best number 2, but really a third option. I mean, no lack of defense. Ball hog, can't really move off ball. He needs to be able to develop his game to move and work off the ball because he can't be a ball dominant guard with the Clippers. I don't think it's going to be a good match, but you know, the selfishness shows everywhere he's been. It's been about him. So this is nothing new, nothing expected. I don't think it's going to work. By the time we get to the mid-season, I think they're going to be trying to move him again.
Wow.
Will, what you think?
Well, I mean, to piggyback off what Vern said, if you think he's a third option, though, isn't that what he's supposed to be there with Kawhi, you know, with Paul George, with Russ? Like, he kind of is a later option, but he's so ball dominant. You know what I'm saying? We've never seen him be effective without the ball in his hands. No, he can distribute the basketball, but is he going to accept that role and not be a scorer? I think that would be the best situation for the Clippers if he was a distributor of the basketball. But is he going to take that role, or is he going to want to be a scorer?
I think he needs to come off the bench, to be honest with you. I think he needs to almost play like a Manu Ginobili role at this point in time.
So go back to his OKC role.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I think this is what I don't like about the trade. You got too many ball dominant guys. Paul George is best when he has the ball in his hands. Russ is best when he's controlling the offense. Obviously, fourth quarter, last 6 minutes of the game, Kawhi wants it at the elbow and he wants to be able to go to work. And now you add Harden to that as well. So you have too many guys who have such a high usage rate. None of these guys are really comfortable playing off the ball. And in late game situations, who's going to be the guy who's willing to spot up in the corner and knock down a shot? Who's going to be the guy who's willing to cut off the baseline? You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these guys are comfortable doing that. So now you're asking them to figure it out on the fly. It's not going to work. I think there is another move for the Clippers here. They're going to have to trade one of those 4 guys. It's inevitable. Maybe Paul George, because that was a name that they floated around in the offseason. And I wouldn't be surprised if they circle back and maybe trade him. But also, if you're the Clippers, James Harden just left Philly because he didn't get his new extension. So are you planning on paying James Harden? Because what was the point of making a trade if you're not giving him the extension with the max attached to it? I don't see the end goal for the Clippers, because this can't be a 1-year rental, because you can't expect James Harden to be on his best behavior. This is exactly why he left Philly. He wanted his money.
I think Steve Ballmer wants primetime names to fill those seats. You know what I mean? Like, I think he wants the headliners because, you know, it's Hollywood and all. to fill those seats and to rival the Lakers. I think that's what that whole trade was about.
Yeah. I don't like it at all for them. Again, it's a lot of star power. It's not going to work. You're also, again, Harden's another guy who misses a lot of games. We already know about Kawhi and PG and the amount of time they've missed the last couple of years. Now you had another guy that misses a lot of time. It's just not going to work. We saw the Harden Westbrook combination in Houston. That didn't work then. Now you're asking those guys to play in the backcourt again together. It's not going to work out. It's going to look great on paper. We'll tune in for the primetime games. They'll lose a lot of games. They'll lose a lot of big games, I should say. Ultimately, we'll come back and circle back to the same conclusion. Let's get through some of these other
But
basketball.
shout out to the strippers in LA. Y'all about to get your money.
It's up.
Shout out to y'all. Y'all about to get paid.
It's up.
James back home. Y'all about to get that money.
Hey, Will, Ron said he's 42, so he called you the OG.
Okay, yeah. All right, Ron. Appreciate you thinking I'm young, man.
Derek Thompson, he got two questions in here I want to get to. So the first one, he talks about what's clicking with the Warriors early, Curry going off, maybe second best player early to Luka, Jordan Poole subtraction plus for Warriors. I'll start off. I think it is. They had some distractions very early last year. Remember Draymond punching Jordan Poole? I think that fucked with team chemistry a little bit. I also think that they're a little more focused this year. They were champs last year. And so we know how easy it is to be distracted coming off the parades, coming off all the patting on the back and, oh, you guys are so wonderful. Now they got to get it. They got to get it out the mud again. They got bumped early in the playoffs. They got to figure it out. Steph is on a mission. So I think they're a little more focused. Will, go ahead, though.
I think they all got a chip on their shoulder right now, and that's dangerous. You see Clay out here talking about he about to show you he one of the best players in the league. You got Draymond out here talking on the podcast every week, talking about how much he got to prove. And then you got Steph out here who, need no need to say what kind of player he is. We already know. I think they're gonna be a problem down the stretch. Now the West is loaded, but they've been there before. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they're just quite at that point where they're too old yet. You know what I mean? I think that this team kind of reminds me of what the late Bulls teams were, where I'm talking about the late Bulls teams with MJ and Scotty, where they had prime skill level and veteran leadership, and they had been there before. So I think Golden State could be a problem down the stretch.
Hey, Vern, I'm going to get to the question you want right now. Shout out to Pooh as well. Pooh always showing us a lot of love. Pooh want to know, though, Vern. She said, yo, you're always late, man. But we want to get to these Wemby questions right here, because I know that's what Vern is waiting for, and there's two of them.
What's up, Pooh?
The first one is from Kyrie. He said, let's talk about Wemby. Oh, my God. The other night, they came back from 20 to beat the Suns. Then yesterday, beat them again. Wemby went nuts. Pause. We haven't seen nothing like him. I didn't believe the hype at first. That's the first one. And then there's another one. Hold on. I want to combine the Wemby questions in here. Where's the other one at? Oh, Kevin Ford. Rachel Nichols said Wemby's ceiling is higher than LeBron. Thoughts? Vern, I'm going to let you go first because I know you were eager to get to this topic. Go ahead, man.
You already know. So I ain't gonna be late no more, Eric. I had a commitment, but I'll be back on time next week. But I told y'all last week that Wemby's a top player now. When I said that, Eric, what y'all say? Y'all was like, man, what up? Get out of here, right? I said he's a top 10 player now.
I don't remember that.
That's what I said.
Is that really what happened?
Yes. And y'all laughed me out. Y'all said not right now. I said okay. So as we see, we back 1 week later, and I ain't gonna say I was right, but I think what I was saying wasn't crazy. I think Wemby is a generational talent. I think his ceiling is higher than LeBron's, but I'm not going to compare him to LeBron or Michael Jordan or nobody like that, because this is what? He hasn't even played 10 games in the NBA yet. But is his projection up there? Absolutely. He can move like KD. He can shoot. He can play defense. I mean, he's 7'4", so who's stopping him? Who's blocking him? I think he could be a centerpiece of the NBA, face of the NBA, and also just on the globe, because he is from across the pond. So, I mean, the sky's the limit with Wemby. I think, like I said, top 10 player. If I was taking the draft, I had to draft players right now, he'd be my number one pick. Just because of how young he is, how dominant he can be, and what he's doing right now. I think it's very clear that he is going to be a problem for the league. By the time the season's over, we might be having a different conversation about where he is right now in terms of maybe top 5, top 3 player.
You think he's an all-star?
Absolutely. All pro.
We haven't had a rookie all-star since 2010.
Yeah, he's a rookie all-star. He's gonna be NBA all pro. I'm not sure, maybe number 2.
So he'll make an all-star team. He's gonna get the votes. I'll say this though, Vern. I think you're saying two different things though. Top 10 player right now, he's not that. I think that's an exaggeration right now. We're overreacting to what he's done this first week and a half of the season.
Oh my God.
I'm being serious, Vern, because again, he hasn't shown enough to say automatically he's a top 10 player right now.
Can I just ask you a question? If you're drafting 10 players right now in the NBA to win this year, you're saying you're not drafting Wemby in the top 10?
To win this year? No.
Yeah, you're winning. Okay. All right.
Let's do this, Vern. Let's do this. Is he better than Giannis?
Hold on. Before we get to that, though, Will, I just want to say this. Because, again, you're projecting what he's done 5 games as if this is what he's going to be all season. He's going to have his slumps as any rookie would. He's not going to be this consistent throughout the season. He's going to have moments where you're going to be like, yeah, now he looks like a rookie tonight. Now he shot 2 for 11. Yeah, he got manhandled in the post a little bit tonight. That's bound to happen, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we can't anoint him as a top 10 player just based off of what he's done for a week and a half. Now, is his potential as high as anybody who's coming in the league? Absolutely. I 1,000% agree with that. His potential is that of somebody who could be an NBA great. So I agree with that. If at the end of the season, we look back at the numbers and we look back at his play and be like, man, you know what? For 60 of these 82 games, he was really, really good and he played at a high level, then we could revisit the conversation. But we jumping out the window to call him a top 10 player after 5 games.
And the big deal is going to be health. How many players have we seen with a lot of size pause that can't stay healthy? So that's going to be a big factor as well. This dude's 7'4" out here. You know what I'm saying? It's been player after player that can't stay healthy, even though they had great potential. So that's going to be a big factor as well.
And if you want to do the rundown, I mean, guys, y'all can comment on this as well. I'm sure we can list 10 guys. If you're talking about winning this year, which is what your statement was, Vern, there's 10 guys we could pick over Wembanyama if you're trying to win it all this year.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
Yes, it is. Because we would go off the resume of what guys have already accomplished to win this year. We've never seen Wembanyama in a series. So
you want to do you want to do it this week or next week? You want to do it this week or next week? You want to do the top 10 this week?
We can do it right now.
I would say you can tell me when
the Bucks got 2. The Bucks alone got 2.
No, I'm taking Wemby over Damian Lillard right now.
To win this year?
No,
absolutely. Wemby is a more dominant player than Damian Lillard.
He's played 5 games, Vern. You're telling me in a 7-game series? Hold on. So you're telling me
absolutely.
In a 7-game series, when a coach is going to make the adjustments and cater a game plan to slow you down, he's shown you enough already.
Yep.
You're bugging, Vern. You jumping out the window.
Bugging.
You're jumping out the window way too early.
Dog, he's 7'4". He can do everything that everyone else can do. Y'all tripping. Y'all are tripping. If y'all can't, okay, that's fine. Like
5 games.
Y'all smoking rocks. Y'all are smoking rocks. We already knew he was gonna be great. All he's doing now is solidifying what we already thought he was gonna be. It's just not like a player that just came out of thin air. We already knew he been dominating in France for like 2 years. We knew he was gonna be great. All he's doing now is just solidifying what we already thought. So if I'm telling y'all right now, he's
Did you just say he's been dominating in France?
Right.
Is that what you just said, bro?
He's doing exactly
what damn about France.
Well, let me ask you. So what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say when he has a bad 2-week stretch? Because it's bound to happen.
Bad 2-week stretches, Curry.
Right.
Bad 2-week stretches. I mean,
right, which is what I'm saying to you. So
7-game series.
Yeah, you take him over Steph.
No, I'm not taking him over Steph.
You're
I'm not.
not.
Giannis?
No, not over Giannis.
You're not
yet.
taking him over the Joker.
No, not yet.
Hell no. Embiid?
Depends.
Embiid?
All right, in a
Possibly.
series, you're
That's
not
we
taking.
already up to 5, bro. We
You're
can
not.
No,
You're
that's
not
four.
taking.
That's four.
Hold on, that's four,
four.
and I'm about to make it 6. You're not taking him over Braun or KD in a series.
I'm taking him over right now.
Stop.
Probably.
Stop. I'm over who?
Oh, this is not the same Braun of 4 years ago.
God.
This
Oh
isn't.
my God.
This isn't
Yo,
the same
Vern,
Braun of 4 years ago.
Vern, we might cut your feet and then bring you back in a few minutes, let you cool down,
It
bro.
isn't.
You're
It
bugging.
isn't, but
You're bugging. You're telling me.
The argument, fine.
You're telling me.
If you want to take Braun, that's
you're
fine.
gonna take a you're gonna take a rookie based off 5 games
like I said,
and say hold on. You said your original statement was if we were picking right now for guys who I could win with right now, you're taking him over. He's never played
Luka?
a playoff series, and you're telling me you would take him over. You can't even take him over Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's a proven commodity.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You can't even take him over
Jimmy Butler. You can't take him over Luka neither.
Jimmy's a proven commodity. Jimmy has shown you in the playoffs what he can do and what he can lead you to.
Okay, so you want to take Jimmy, Giannis, LeBron, Steph,
KD.
I wouldn't do whatever. If you want to take KD hasn't done shit. Oh my God!
If you want to take KD,
he hasn't done shit without the Warriors. So you can say what you want to say, and he's old.
Wemby hasn't done shit at all. Wemby's played 5 regular season games. He's played 5 regular. Oh my God! Now he's a more dominant.
He is. He can play. He can dominate in the paint. He can dominate from perimeter. He can play defense. He can guard the rim. He can do everything. So look, when we get to the end of the season and he's doing these kind of things, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all.
When they get to the end of the season, when they get to the end
of the
season,
when we get to the conversation,
we will. All the audio, everything gets saved, Vern. You know that. When we get to the end of the season,
this is
when we get to the end
November 3rd,
right?
This ain't even real basketball yet.
All right,
that's why they implemented this in-season tournament just to draw some interest because this ain't basketball yet.
Hold on. When we get to the end of the season and San Antonio got 35 wins and they're not even a playoff team, don't talk to me about, I would take Wemby to win right now. They're going to have ups and downs. Right now, it's all new. There's a new relationship. It's great. Everybody's still trying to figure out Wemby.
Hey, hold on, fella. Somebody at my door.
The moment
he's somebody we've never seen before.
The moment that teams start to figure out how to defend him a little better, they will take away some of his strengths. I promise you, it happens. The league adapts.
He's 7'4". I mean, are they going to grow? He's 7'4".
They don't have to grow. They're going to find ways.
He's a unique player. We've never seen someone like him.
Cool. I'm not doubting how unique he is, but I am telling you that teams are going to find a way to take away his strengths night in, night out. They're going to force him to quote unquote play left-handed and figure out other things that he's never seen before. And then we're going to see the struggles. It happens. Vern, is his potential through the roof? Absolutely. He might be, as in terms of rookies, he might have the largest potential of anybody we've ever seen. Nobody's questioning that part. But you wilding if you telling me that you would take him right now over guys like Braun and Jimmy Butler in a playoff series when we know what those guys can do.
10 players, Eric, you named 6 at best.
I got to like 6 or 7, and then you kept jumping out the window. I'm trying to save you from jumping out the window.
There's no one else. There's no one else.
Well, I wasn't expecting to give you a list, but if I got to come up with a list, I'll come up with a list as well. I'll do that as well.
That's what I said. We can do it next week. We can do it next week because your list is going to fall short.
We'll do it next week. We're still going to have 10 guys on the list that are more accomplished in playoff basketball. Jason Tatum is more accomplished in playoff basketball. You're not taking Wembanyama over Jason Tatum in the series. I am taking him. Okay. All right. You're not.
Okay.
Vern, you like to gamble just like I like to gamble. In a 7-game series, you're telling me you're taking Wembanyama, a guy who you've never seen in that situation.
In their team. If I'm saying I got 10 players, and I said I am in the playoffs. I can start my team. What I'm saying is Wembanyama will be in the 10. Period. He will be in the 10. I'm not saying the Spurs as a team are better than the Celtics or whatever it is. But what I'm saying is, if you're saying the NBA players are starting today, you get to draft your team. If you get to pick number 11, Wembanyama is already gone. Guaranteed.
Okay. I promise you, we'll come up with a list that has 10 more established veterans than Wembanyama. And by the time we speak next week, Wembanyama might have 2 bad games, and then the narrative changes. So we already know how that goes. Let's get to some of these other questions right now. And Kyrie agrees with us as well. He said, Vern, Wembanyama is not a top 10 player. He's headed in the right direction, but he ain't a top 10 player yet. I agree. He's not top 10 yet. Ron, the Suns look, they look like hot garbage right now. Booker's back, but Bill has a history of injuries, and I wouldn't trust Bill. Thoughts on the Suns so far? Listen, we talked about this already in terms of you got 3 stars who are all injury prone. You have a lack of depth and talent with the rest of the team. Bill was injured already from opening night. Booker and KD didn't play enough games last year to really figure things out with them two, so they're going to struggle. And there's no true point guard on this team. I expect the struggles to continue for quite some time. They're going to beat up on the lesser teams, as they should, because you got KD and you got Booker. But come playoff time, they're going to struggle. They're going to fall short. Vern, go ahead.
Nah, I think you said it right when we talked about this, like last week or a few weeks ago. I think we all said the Suns weren't going to be that great. They don't have no depth, and you got players who are always injured and no defense. I don't know if it was you or Will said they can't guard a parked car, or who they going to guard. And look, you heard it here first. I mean, it was already laid out that the Suns are going to struggle without having some kind of depth pieces or some kind of personal players that can guard and can do other things.
Yeah, they're going to struggle. Pooh, I didn't forget about you. I saw your question up there. She wants our thoughts on LeBron playing so many minutes at 60 years old. He's not 60, but he's damn near close. Vern, go ahead. Start that one off.
Yeah, it's going to be problematic. I mean, Bron's his physical shape is, second to none, but it's going to take a toll. I think they really want Anthony Davis to take over, but he's just been slacking. It's not sustainable. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure if the injury is going to happen or they're going to reduce his minutes. But it's just something that just can't happen if they want to go deep and make a playoff run, or at least have championship aspirations.
Yeah, so this is everything the Lakers is doing right now completely contradicts what we heard a couple days ago. Because opening night when they played Braun 29 minutes, the whole thinking was we're trying to gear him up and we're trying to save his legs for later in the season. And then since then, he's had multiple games where he's gotten close to 40 minutes or above 40 minutes, including the overtime game the other night against the Clippers. So I don't know what the Lakers are trying to prove here. I don't know what they're trying to do. AD does need to be more consistent for this team to really to reach the levels that we think they can get to. But if Braun is going to be playing these type of minutes, his body's going to break down. And it's broken down every year he's been with the Lakers. It's one of the storylines that a lot of people don't like to talk about. But every year that Braun has been with the Lakers, he has missed some significant time. I think it's going to happen again if they continue to play him this amount of minutes. Will, let me get your thoughts on this question. Pooh wanted to know LeBron playing so many minutes at this age. What are your thoughts on it?
Good for him.
Well, we all know how Will feels about LeBron, so that's the answer right there. You're not gonna get much more than that.
You ain't gonna get no analysis from me on LeBron. No, all right, Pooh. I rock with Pooh, so let me go ahead and tell you what's going on. It's commendable. You know what I'm saying? What is he? 39? Is he 39 now? Or is he still? He's 39. One thing is the medical training and the training in general that you can get right now, where he spends what they say, like $10 million a year on his body. You know what I mean? And he's a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? But it's commendable. What's it going to turn into, though, is the question. What's it going to benefit? I mean, what's it going to profit? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to come out to something like a championship run? That I doubt.
It's not at the minutes they're playing him right now. It's not going to happen. He's going to break down. It's going to happen. We've seen it the last couple of years, as I mentioned, with the Lakers. He's missed significant time every year. Aside from the bubble season, he's missed significant time every year. His body starts to break down after the All-Star break. Darvin Ham, they came out, remember, originally saying, we're going to kind of put him on a minutes restriction and get his legs under him. And then that immediately went out the window when they needed to start winning some games. So unless Anthony Davis can stay this consistent, shout out to Kyrie. I know he said AD been balling lately. He has. But our issue with with AD isn't what he's done recently. Is can he be consistent? Can he give you several months of this level of play?
I have no faith in that. No faith in that.
And if he can't give you that, then you're back to Braun playing 36, 38, sometimes 40 minutes a night. And I don't think that's sustainable. Let's see what else we got in here. We got a couple more, I know. We're gonna get to the football questions as well. Kevin Ford, I ain't forget about you. Let's circle back to some of the football questions before we get to the picks. Week nine. Let's see which one we want to start with. Let's start here. Ron. Vern, you're gonna start this one right here. Is Dak the reason the Cowboys offense is clicking?
Clicking against who?
That's
Clicking
Ron. That's Ron's question. I don't know.
Against bums? I mean, help me out. Somebody might help me out. Had they beat a good team yet? Had they forgot? I mean, somebody help me, because I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about here. I don't know what we're talking about here. All I know is they got a showdown on Sunday, and they're gonna get smoked. They can't beat good teams. And then it's gonna be, is that the reason why McCarthy gonna get? That's gonna be the question next week. So their offense hasn't done anything. I guess they smoked the Patriots, they smoked the Giants, they smoked the Rams. All terrible teams.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't think they smoked the Rams. Stafford leaves that game in the third quarter.
Yeah, but they were up early.
No, but hold on. The score makes it look worse than what it was. That game was 10-3 late in the first half, and then they got a pick six, and then they got a safety to start the second half.
Yeah.
That completely changed the game. But it was 10-3. Their offense wasn't clicking. Their offense wasn't doing much.
I never said the offense was clicking.
I know.
I'm just saying it was blowing up.
It turned into a blowout in the third quarter. Again, the defense got them 9 points on back-to-back possessions, and then Stafford goes out of that game, and they're playing Brett Rippon. No disrespect to you, Will. I know how you feel about Mark Rippon. That was his son. His son is trash. But they beat up on his son, and then it looks like a blowout. But it really wasn't a blowout. The game was 10-3 with a minute to go in the first half, and then Stafford throws a bad pick six. I don't think their offense is clicking at all either. But, Will, let me know unless I'm missing something.
It's the defensive special teams. They've been carrying that team all season. Like, even that 40 to, didn't they beat somebody 40 donut?
Yeah, Giants week 1.
And that was all defensive special teams, basically.
Yep.
I mean, they've been carrying them the whole season, and even with the loss of Diggs, they still been balling. I forget the dude that's come in. He's been making plays. He has 3 pick sixes this year.
The kid Bland.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a pick six last week.
Yeah, but it's been defensive special teams carrying that team. Dak hasn't been terrible, but he's definitely not why.
I don't, like I said, I don't think they click in. Vern, we're gonna get to the picks, but I kind of share your sentiments on that one in terms of their matchup with the Eagles. We're gonna get to that because James Brown had a question about that as well. Let's see where else we want to go. Kyrie, I like this question. This was the first question of the night. Shout out to Kyrie. Week 9 matchup with most on the line.
Ooh.
Will, I'm gonna let you start.
Week 9 matchup with most on the line. Now, see, it's 2 ways you can look at that, though. Do you mean most on the line as far as positioning, or most on the line as far as your season being over? You know what I mean? Because when you look at a game like Miami versus the Chiefs, that's more of a position in the AFC.
Correct.
Or if you look at a game like Washington Patriots, that's more of your season's over type of game. You know what I mean?
Which one? Which direction you want to go with it?
I think I want to go for positioning at the top. I think that Miami Chiefs game is going to be a big tell of who's at the top of the AFC. Especially both teams. It's not a home game for either one of them, really, because it's in Germany. So when you look at that game, it's going to be is it going to be a lot of scoring? Probably. You know what I mean? Is the travel going to take any effect on the way they play? Probably. But then you've got two of the best quarterbacks in the AFC right now going against each other, where neither one of those defenses impressed me. So I think that's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be an excellent thing to have breakfast over on Sunday morning, because I think it starts at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that game has the most on the line as far as who's going to be the hierarchy of the AFC.
Vern, what you
And
think,
in that
Vern?
game, I'm picking the Dolphins, by the way.
So, I'm gonna mark you down for that right now. But go ahead, Vern.
So the reason why I disagree with Will is because the Dolphins haven't shown they can do anything against a team that has a winning record. So in terms of hierarchy, I don't think it matters. Also, the AFC West is a joke. So even if the Chiefs were to lose this game, I feel like they would have plenty of time to make up the difference and still be the higher seed. The AFC East is a lot more difficult. You got the Bills in there and you got the Dolphins in there. So I feel as though that even if the Dolphins were to beat the Chiefs in this game, I think the Bills get them again. So honestly, I don't think the Dolphins are that great of a team. I think they have a great offense. I think they're flashy, but who have they really beat? Not only have they really beat, they haven't even been competitive in games in which they have playing a team who are over 500. So I wouldn't go there. For me, I'm going either Dallas and the Eagles, or I'm going Cincinnati and Buffalo. And the reason why I say that is because Joe Burrow and them have to win almost every game they can, because the Ravens are right on their tails. And Buffalo, really, if they don't win this game, it's going to be hard for them to possibly, stay on pace with the Dolphins if they win. So I'll probably go either one of those games, depending if you want an AFC or NFC look. So yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna go Buffalo at Cincinnati. I think it's just the most on the line, because if you're the Bills, if you're truly a Super Bowl contender, you got to win this game. Cincinnati went into Buffalo last year and beat the shit out of them in a playoff game. It is what it is. It wasn't even close. And if you're the Bills, as you mentioned, you're in that situation where you're not better than Kansas City. You're kind of battling Miami for the division, and then you're behind Cincinnati position-wise. You lose this game, now you're looking at possibly not even being a division winner and having to go on the road for all your playoff games. I know it's early, but that's just what you're looking at right now. And I don't think Buffalo's built in that manner. Buffalo doesn't run the ball well enough. Their defense isn't dominant enough for them to go on the road and win 3 playoff games. If you want to show that you're truly a Super Bowl contender, this is the game you got to win. You got to beat Cincinnati. It's going to be in Cincinnati. I know it's a Sunday night game, so there's going to be a lot of talk about the DeMar Hamlin game last year, because that was a primetime game when that happened. But if you're Buffalo, you got to go into Cincinnati. You got to get your get back from the way you lost in that playoff game. Buffalo, you got to go into Cincinnati and get your get back, I think. Will, to your point about Kansas City, Miami, Kansas City defense pretty good. They haven't given up more than 21 points in any game this year. So I think their defense is pretty good. I think more the issue with Kansas City is the offense just isn't as explosive as we're used to. Vern, you had talked about the Philly-Dallas game, so I'm going to get to James' question right here. Cowboys take on NFC East rival Eagles week 9. Who gets the win? So we're going to start. Let's pick this game right here. Vern, kick it off for me.
Eagles going to win. I mean, Eagles, since 2022, Jalen Hurts is like 19-1. Own the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't a good team. This is one of those. I'm not understanding why the line is 3. I know it's a divisional game and they played. I know, divisional game close. This line should be 4.5, 5, easy. This is easy money. And I remember when the Eagles are playing the Dolphins, I'd say take the Eagles easy money. Go to sleep, wake up, you be good. Here it's the same thing. I mean,
Will,
I can be close.
Will, what you think?
I think it's going to be a close game, actually. But in these games, I take the home team in these rivalry games. So I'm going with Philly. I think that offensive line they have can minimize the effect of Micah Parsons. And I think that's going to be the key in the game. But I think you're going to probably be looking at a 3-point game, something like that. But I'm taking the home team, Philly.
Yeah, I like Philly as well. I think the line is a little low. I expect it to be a competitive game, but it could be a competitive game and Philly could still win by 6. I don't think that changes anything. But looking back at last year, Philly's offense did whatever they wanted against this Dallas defense. I mean, they put up 30 plus points on them in both games. One of those games was with the backup quarterback, and they still dropped 30 plus on them. So I don't think Dallas has any answers for this offense. On the flip side, Dak is going to throw at least one pick. It's bound to
Oh,
happen in this game.
lock it in.
He's going to throw one pick. And Will and I, we've talked about this before. We're a little disappointed Tony Pollard hasn't taken that next step up. We thought he was going to be a little more explosive this year as the lead back. He hasn't been. So I expect Philly to get right in this game. We're all on board. We like Philly. James, I'm going to get to your other question as well because he wanted to know Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow, who wins week 9, since we were just talking about games that had the most on the line. I like Cincinnati. They're favored by 2.5. I like Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow and them boys is getting right. You saw Joe Mixon. He's getting back. And his defense is pretty good again. So I like them in this game because I know Buffalo just really can't run the ball. So I like Cincinnati. Vern, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cincinnati. The injuries to the Bills, especially Matt Milano, they have not been able to recover. And I'm also hoping they win because I got the Bengals at 1.5 when they dropped Sunday night. I saw the line. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, look, I don't care if the public on it or not. I'm on it, So I need them to win because I do have a position on the Bengals.
Yeah. We're going to get to the Germany game. And I know, Will, you said you like Miami. We had 2 questions about it. First, Kevin Ford, Tyreek on the Chiefs. Going to get this work. Y'all can use this as bulletin board material. The Chiefs are going to use it as bulletin board material. Let's not forget last year when Cincinnati was talking crazy heading into the AFC Championship game, and Kelsey made sure to remind everybody that they heard the comments. And then Derek Thompson said, "Who needs a win more, Miami or Kansas City?" Will, I believe you said Miami needs it a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I got Miami.
Vern, what
I
you
think they need to make that step in that division.
Yeah, Miami needs to win more because, like I said, the Kansas City is going to win the AFC West. Miami might not win the AFC East. So Miami definitely needs to win more. And it needs to beat a team that has a winning record.
That's a fact. Who do you like in this game, though?
Kansas City.
Kansas City's at 1.5 right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you got to.
Smashed it.
Yeah, I like Kansas City as well. I think they bounce back. We talked about it last Friday, and this is why we try to give y'all some gems, man. I talked about a lot of trap games last week. There were a lot of favorites who did not cover it because it was a prototypical trap game. Kansas City was one of them. They were in Denver. They got caught looking ahead. And then Vern, you and I texted. We didn't know this. Then we find out Mahomes had the flu.
Oh, yeah, I was like, we locked in.
Yeah, and they have been dealing with the flu all week. And so now it's like the snow in Denver with Mahomes with the flu, and they already got caught looking ahead to the flight to Germany. So it played out the way we thought, man. I like Kansas City to bounce back this week. Andy Reid and them guys, they're not gonna have another bad week. And Tua has not beat a team with a winning record. So until he does, I gotta fade him. I gotta go against him, man. Let's see what other questions we got here. Let's see. Basketball questions. We'll get to those at the end. Those are more basketball questions coming in right now. Let's run down some of the bad games this week because we always got a lot of bad games. Let's get to some of them. Giants at Vegas.
God, the worst.
Let's start from the bottom.
Oh man, this is bottom barrel trash, But look, the Raiders are going to win this game. The Raiders are going to win this game. Is Daniel Jones playing? Because if he's playing, it's a lock. The Raiders are going to win.
I'm gonna check right now. I mean, it really depends because if fucking Tommy DeVito's playing, my man had -8 yards last week. if Tommy's playing, you got to take Vegas. Let's see that line right now. I just checked. When I checked earlier, it was at 1.5. Right now, it's up to 2. And let's see what they got with Daniel Jones. Tyrod is out, and Daniel Jones is showing as questionable. So we might get a Tommy DeVito.
Daniel Jones is a turnover machine, yo. So I want him to. I mean, he's terrible. They just fired their head coach. They're gonna be motivated to play. They'll win this game, but then they'll go back to being terrible again.
Yeah. Will?
I got the Giants. I don't really see. Well, the Raiders are in turmoil basically. I mean, I know they elevated Antonio Pierce to head coach and all, and a lot of times, teams get emotional and try to run through a wall. But with Daniel Jones back and the Giants trying to keep pace in the NFC East, I like the Giants.
I I'm picking the Giants, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not comfortable about the pick. We talked about this. It was a game last couple weeks ago. We talked about this. Don't gamble on this game. Just leave this game alone. Don't touch this game at all. Um, there's a lot of bad teams in the NFL. The Giants might be the worst. Let's keep it a buck. We're 9 weeks into the season. You know the Giants are the only team that they still haven't scored 100 points total on the season yet. We're 9 games into the season.
Yeah.
Like it's some really bad football being played by the Giants right now. So I'm gonna take them just because everything that's going on in Vegas. Devontae Adams doesn't want to be there. New head coach, the rookie quarterback's getting his second start. Maybe they're motivated for him. I will hope the Giants are motivated to do something, but I'm gonna take the Giants. I'm not even gonna care if they lose this game. I just won't be gambling on it. We know that much. Let's go another bad game. We mentioned it a minute ago. Commanders at New England. Commanders just traded away 2 D linemen. Looks like they're going into a rebuild. Is this Ron's last week, Vern? Could he be fired if they lose this game?
I pray the Patriots win so that could be a possibility. That's the only thing I can hope. I mean, what are we like? You know what's crazy? Every time I need them to lose, they're gonna win. Every time it's like, all right. Like when they lost to the Bears, it's like, all right. They come out and they play well because it's just, I don't know, it's frustrating. But Mac Jones is so bad. Bill Belichick, they lost their receiver. Now they got, I don't even know who Mac Jones throwing the ball to.
Well, they lost Kendrick Bourne. I think they still got Devontae Parker.
I think Parker was out though.
Who knows who they even throwing to? They ain't got.
So man, I don't know. I mean, what's the line? Is it 3.5 or 3 now?
I show it at 2.5. New England.
Yeah, I think the Commanders are the most public. I think the Commanders are the most public dog right now. And anytime you get a public dog like that, you got to go the opposite way. So I'm going with the Patriots to cover this game.
Will, what you think?
Bill Belichick does not lose to young, inexperienced quarterbacks. And that's what he's going to be facing in Sam Howell. I like the Patriots easily. Like, I can see it being like 20-13.
Yeah, the under is probably the safest bet here. I agree. I like the Patriots to win this game as well. Will, you highlighted Belichick's history against young quarterbacks, but also I think this is it for Ron. I think the Commanders, the trades this week speak to we are going in a brand new direction. Just give us a reason to fire you. Just give us a reason to
There's so many reasons.
No, but yeah, but now just give us one reason to deny access to your key card. go up to Foxborough, lose the game, and then that key card is not working on Monday morning. So I think this is the week. Ron Rivera is out of there. I think Eric Bieniemy will be the head coach. They go to Seattle after this game, so it's not like it gets any easier. I think Eric Bieniemy is the head coach after this one, man.
Hey, are you taking with the spread, Eric, or what? What she's doing?
Well, it would go against everything I say. When you have 2 bad teams, you always take the point. So you would take the Commanders. I would just take the Patriots money line because knowing them, they'll probably win this game 19-18 on the last second field goal and not cover. So I would just take a money line. Again, there's another one we do not advise you to bet on. Just leave your money in the account. Don't bet this game. We got more bad ones. But wait, there's more. There's a bunch. You got oh my God, this is just a whole slate of ugly games. You got the Bears going to the Saints.
The Saints easy. The Bears stink.
This is shitty football Sunday. Shitty football Sunday. It's a lot of bad football. Saints, Will, I agree with you. Will got the Saints. I got the Saints. Vern, who you got?
To win? The Saints are going to win, but the Bears are...
Vern,
My bad. Hello?
Yeah, I think you were
My
saying the
bad.
Bears are going to cover, right?
Yeah, same.
Uh-oh.
Vernon, your connection. I'll take it from there, though. He froze there for a second. I agree, though. I think the Bears could cover this game. 8 points is a lot of points. The Saints ain't that much better than anybody in the league to be getting 8 points. But the Bears are so bad right now. You can't have any faith in betting the Bears. And that's another one that you leave alone. Will, the Bucks going to the Texans.
You know, I had a tough time trying to pick this one. But I think I'm going to go with the Texans at home. CJ Stroud's been impressive as an Ohio State quarterback coming into the league. You know, usually they end up being bums, but he's looked pretty good. And I like what D'Amico Ryans has, the way he has that defense plan. And I don't trust Baker Mayfield on the road ever, so I'm going with the Texans.
I like it. Vern, let me know if you can hear us.
I can hear. I'm there.
All right. The Bucks at Houston. Houston is favored by 3.
Oh God.
Shitty football Sunday. A lot of shitty games, man.
The Bucks. I'll take them. I'm gonna take the Bucks.
I'm taking the Texans. Y'all know I like D'Amico Ryans. I like CJ Stroud. I think Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield. He looked good for about 3 games, and that's it. He's gonna fall apart. So we know that already. I think Will and I are on to something there. I like Houston there. Arizona. They're going to Cleveland. Cleveland, this line makes no sense to me, Vern. I need you to elaborate. Cleveland is favored by 10 points against Arizona. Deshaun just got cleared today. I saw Ian Rappaport said that Deshaun is expected to play Sunday. I know Cleveland's defense is really, really good, but Cleveland has been so inconsistent. Can they be favored by 10 points against anybody?
Aren't they playing Tune at quarterback?
Who?
Aren't the Cardinals playing Tune at quarterback? It's not Kyler Murray, right? I think it's Clayton Tune. That man is yo. Hey, have you seen Clayton Tune tape?
No, I don't know if that tape exists. I don't know if there's any tape out there.
Hey, look, Eric, they should be favored by 17 and a half.
Yeah, this was my 401k pick of the week.
Look, I hate the large spreads, man. I hate it.
Oh, Vern, cut out again. Yeah. Well, until we get him back, I'm gonna say this. I mean, I gotta take Cleveland because of their defense. So I'm gonna take Cleveland. Will, who you got?
This is my 401k pick of the week. I got the Browns.
Okay.
That defense is going to demolish that dude.
Okay.
And they got a crap. I went to a Browns game last year. They got a rowdy crowd hypes up that team. And against that quarterback, come on. Myles Garrett gonna have 37 sacks this week.
Vern, what you think, Vern?
Hey, it's gonna be nuts. Hey, Eric, play the sack parlay.
Man, I'm so mad too because I just needed that 1 sack yesterday.
I know it's starting out hot for you. It's starting out hot for you. Hey, yeah, I don't know.
Sack.
Yo, if Tune is playing, Eric, they're covering the 10.
Maybe you're right. I mean, Arizona ain't got much.
This I want you to do. I want you to Google Clayton Tune highlights. When you see them, you're gonna know why I said it.
All right, I'm gonna go watch, and then we're gonna throw them in a bet somewhere. Vern got Cleveland as well. Vern, what's your 401k pick for this week?
I'll probably have to go Cleveland if I had to go with one. I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
All right, so Vern, that's his 401k as well. We got some more bad games though, but we ain't done yet. Vikings at Falcons. Falcons favored by 3.5. I like the Falcons. Falcons have played well at home. Vikings, we don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be because they're down, I think, realistically to their 3rd string. They were already missing their backup who was on IR. So they're down to their third string, and there's still no Justin Jefferson, and they can't run the ball. I like Atlanta. What y'all got?
I got
No
Atlanta,
Kirk,
but you take
no
the cover.
chance.
Hold on, you got the cover or what?
I'm taking the 3.5. I think Atlanta beats them pretty easily. Again, Minnesota can't run the ball. You're down to a third string running back without your best third string quarterback without your best receiver. It's not going to be pretty for Minnesota.
I am, but Heineke trash, man.
Heineke might be
Minnesota might only have the ball for Minnesota might only have the ball for like 20 minutes because Atlanta's going to run it down their throat with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
Yeah, Algier. Yeah,
So if they get up early and the way Kirk plays, check down Charlie, I think Atlanta beats them like 20-3.
Yeah, I like Atlanta. Vern, what you like?
I guess I'll take the Falcons here. I mean, I just can't see that no guy going on the road and doing nothing. Not against.
We ain't done. There's more. The Rams going to Green Bay. Green Bay's favored by 3. It's a bad weekend. Listen, there's a top heavy weekend because there's only like 4 or 5 really good games this week.
Yeah.
Rams going to Green Bay. Green Bay's favored by 3. Will, what do you like?
This is going to be a close game. It's a battle of peers with Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur that were on Jay Gruden's coaching staff in Washington. But I think I like the Rams in this one. I trust the quarterback play on that side of the ball more than I do on Green Bay's side. And I think McVay knows LaFleur. McVay's had more success than LaFleur. So I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah.
I'll go Green Bay. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to go Green Bay -3.
I like the Rams in this one as well. Green Bay hasn't really shown me much aside from that game against the Bears. So I like the Rams in that one. So Will and I are in agreement there. And then the Colts go to Carolina. Carolina coming off their first win. Colts favored by 2.5. I don't think this is a surprise. I like the Colts. Go ahead, Vern.
Panthers cover. I don't know who wins. I'm waiting for it to get to 3, though.
Will, what you think?
I'm going with the Colts winning this game. I think with Jonathan Taylor getting worked back into the offense, they're going to have a boost. And I think Gardner Minshew's playing better than Bryce Young. So I like the Colts.
All right. And then we got 2 pseudo decent games. One of them is pretty good. I'm going to go to my 401k pick of the week. It's a road team that I expect to win, and I think they're going to win pretty handily. I think the Chargers are going to handle the Jets on Monday night. Hit me out, Vern. I don't see it with the Jets. They shouldn't have won last week. A lot of these games they win is really because the other team continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And I think the Chargers last week kind of got themselves back on track. Now, Brandon Staley can't be trusted, but this is a situation where it's not like he's facing a great head coach himself because Robert Saleh ain't that good of a coach either. So I think that kind of cancels each other out. I think the Chargers are getting themselves right. I expect the Chargers to win. They're favored by 3.5. I think they cover this one pretty easily against the Jets offense that struggles just to get to 10 points. I see the Chargers winning probably by at least a touchdown.
Jets cover.
Yes. What's the line?
3.5.
You say the Jets cover?
That's what Vern thinks.
I think we win this game by 14 points. Justin Herbert, under the lights, is always playing big football. Now he's in New York. Playing against a team that I just don't think is talented enough to keep up with the Chargers. I like us by 14.
Yeah, I think the Chargers win. Again, you look at these wins that the Jets have had, man. Like it's not sustainable to think that a team is going to keep turning the ball over 4 times against you for you to beat them. Like, it's just not sustainable. I think the Chargers could turn the ball over 2 times in this game and still win this one pretty easily. So I like the Chargers. That's my 401k pick. And then we'll end off in what I think is probably going to be the best game of the weekend. The Seahawks at Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 6. Vern, let me know what you think, man.
I think the Ravens squeak it out, but I think the Seattle Seahawks cover. And I think it's more of a back.
Sorry.
I think it's like a backdoor. Seattle was like down 10. They get a late touchdown. Something situation like that.
Will, what you think?
Which game? My bad, I'm watching this next game. It's going crazy. I got Baltimore. It's an early game. It's like a 1:00 kick, I believe.
Yep.
Seattle's coming from all the way over there for a 1:00 game, so it's like 10:00 to their bodies. You know what I mean? And Lamar's balling, so I got Baltimore at home.
I like Seattle to cover. I think Baltimore does win, but I like Seattle to cover and keep it competitive. Seattle's got a big play offense, so there'll be times in this game where I think they'll be able to exploit the secondary of the Ravens. But I do like the Ravens to win a close game here, man. So I think we're all in agreement there as well. I think we went down the slate. I don't think we missed any.
Talk about all these backup bum quarterbacks.
It's a bad week, man. Honestly, as you see, we kind of skipped over upset of the week because there's just so many bad matchups. It wouldn't have been fair. Like it's going to be upsets based on a line just because of the bad quarterback matchups. Like if the Vikings beat Atlanta, that's considered an upset.
Right.
Really? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But that's just the way the matchups have shaped out this week. But again, I think there's some quality matchup. It's just a top heavy week, and we'll see how it plays out. We're getting ready to wrap up. We're gonna be back next week. We'll get more into the in-season tournament as well, because next Friday there's more in-season games. So we'll give it a little time and let's see how we feel about it. I know the Knicks and Bucks are playing a really good game right now. Last time I checked as well, the Heat were beating the Wiz, and it was another
beating the Wiz.
Well, I mean, it's just an update.
Wiz is trash. Oh, they just trash. Trash.
Hey.
I think
we rebuilding, man. We rebuilding.
The Wiz are trying to fight back in it. They down 12 now in the 4th.
Oh yeah, that's why they played all year.
Yeah,
I'm on the streaming, so I might be behind, but it looks like Milwaukee 108, New York 103 with 17 seconds left.
That's what I got as well. Yeah, the Bucks holding on to win that game right there. The Nets beat the Bulls, and the Thunder are up 4 right now on the Warriors in the 4th quarter with like 4 minutes to go.
And these floors are crazy, by the way. They repainted. Yeah, you gotta see the floors.
Yeah,
they're not the traditional floors.
Yeah, I saw the Bucks one. OKC, I'm a little surprised. They went off tonight without Shai Gilgeous playing.
I keep trying to tell you, Gilgeous is not that.
You bugging.
Constantly trying to
You're bugging. Shai Gilgeous is that. But Chet Holmgren having a good game tonight. He got 22 and 8 with 5 assists.
Hey, I don't think I gave my Bengals pick.
Check for Shai in May. Maybe I'll see him in May one of these days.
Maybe we'll see Wimby in May. Maybe.
You will see.
You know, maybe. Who knows?
Listen.
No, Shay's going to be there. Shay's going to be in the playoffs. Okay. I don't know if Wimby's going to be there. Wimby won't be there. But Shay will be.
I need to get my Bengals pick on record. I don't think I gave that pick.
Yeah, you did. You told me you liked Cincinnati. I got you marked down for Cincinnati.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was going down there. Man, what's the point of this playing tournament? I mean, this in-season tournament. I don't understand it. I don't see why it was necessary. I don't get it. I think it's stupid, and I think the NBA is making a mistake with it.
Well, I'll say this: what mistake are they making? Because they're not adding any extra games. It's still an 82-game season. They're just categorizing some of these games as in-season tournament.
So what's it count like? Like what's it all for?
So certain matchups are categorized against your group. So, for example, the Knicks and Bucks are in the same group. So when they play each other, that's part of the group play that leads to the elimination round in Vegas. It's still regular season games. All you're trying to play for is to qualify for the in-season tournament, the elimination round, which is, if you win it all, everybody of the team gets $500,000. You're playing for cash, basically.
So it has nothing to do with playoffs or anything like that.
Right now, no. Again, this is in
So
its early stages because they still trying to figure out how they're going to implement it. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's still an
I need
82
to
game
see
season.
millionaires play for more millions.
Either way, it's still an 82 game season, Will. It's still an 82 game season.
It's still stupid though.
Vern,
Just play your 82 games.
Vern,
Get better agents if you want more money.
John froze.
Oh, I thought you froze there for a second.
Vern, you want more money, get a better agent.
Vern was yelling at the kids to get off his lawn. It's still the same thing, Will. It don't matter. It's 82 game season. We would have tuned in tonight for a Friday night matchup either way.
But now they only play. Are they only playing this on Tuesday and Friday?
For this month. This month is Tuesday and Friday. Those games go towards the in-season tournament.
But that's the only days they're going to be playing, right?
For the in-season tournament, yes.
That's not enough days in the week of basketball. 2?
No.
Will,
there's still going to be a full slate of games every night. But the games for the month of November, the games that are played on Tuesday and the games that are played on Friday count towards the seeding for the in-season tournament. Now, your overall record is the same.
But that's the only days that teams will be playing, right?
No.
Tuesday and Friday?
No.
Oh.
There'll be games tomorrow night as well.
Hey, yo, Fado meter, bro.
Will's ready to throw the remote at the TV like, yo.
I don't get this tournament, man. I just don't understand the point of it.
Will said, I need more basketball, damn it. Y'all better be playing on Saturdays, too.
Whose floor is this?
It's all gonna work out. Will. It's all gonna make sense. Vern, give me a final thought.
Final thought is, man, I'm gonna keep it sport related.
Oh, my bad.
We need to fire Ron Rivera, man. He's trash. Shedeur Sanders should be QB number 1. Okay. Caleb Williams is not good. All right. And that is how I'm going to wrap it up.
Well, Caleb Williams, they got a big game against Washington tomorrow, so we're gonna learn a lot about him.
You already know it about him. If you get pressure, he can't do nothing.
We're gonna learn again. He might have tomorrow is gonna determine if he is still the Heisman favorite. If he plays poorly tomorrow,
he's not the Heisman favorite right now.
Yes, he is. I believe the odds still have him as the favorite. It's a closer gap than it was a couple weeks ago.
He should be.
Hey, listen.
Final thought number 2.
It's just what Vegas got right there. Give me another final thought, Will, and then we out of here.
Y'all need to hop on ESPN because Denver just kicked off. It's the battle of the Euros, Luka versus the Joker.
I'm gonna watch a little bit of that.
And the floor is crazy. It looked like it'd be a Warriors game with the colors they use.
Yo, next time we just gonna let Will give his thoughts on the in-season tournament for like 5 straight minutes. We just gonna let you go, Will. Like, give us your thoughts, get ahead, Rack. Give us the detail on the floors, what you like, what you don't like, and go from there. Fellas, I'm gonna let y'all go for the night. Of course, we're gonna be in touch over the weekend and we're gonna talk. Vern, you and I, we gotta get these tickets right for Sunday.
Hey, what's the record for the spread in the picks? We don't even know what the record.
So I have them all written down. I just haven't tallied them up the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna tally them all up and I'm gonna make sure I put it out there. But I do have them all written down.
I need to know how strong I need to be in the second half so I can win. I'm trying to win.
Makes sense. We're gonna get to that. But I will see you guys next Friday. For my brothers Will Gordon, Vernon Brownlee, I am Eric Sanchez. We are the Opinionated ones, and we will see you guys next Friday. Have a good night.
See you next week.